Now we are going to move on from creating picture graphs. We are now going to read picture graphs. If each apple picture is worth 10 apples, which trees have the same number of apples? Well, that's easy enough. B and D are the only two that line up. Perry Pig asked his friends to vote for their favorite movie. Then he made a picture graph to show, man, Perry Pig has a lot of friends. Holy crap. Which chart shows the correct information from the picture graph shown above? Oh, interesting. This is sort of not a guess and check. This is a check somebody else's work kind of problem, which I really like. I respect that. So it looks like Charlotte's Web got 3, 6, 9, 12 pigs. So it's not A, it's not B, it's definitely C. I don't need to look at Babe, and I don't need to look at the Muppet movie to confirm that, but do recommend that your student, at least for the first couple of times, that they double check that, right? You don't have to do the multiplication for all three of them to know that you're right, but double check yourself before you double wreck yourself. That's right, I said that, deal with it. If each one of these stars is 6 shooting stars, we want to see who saw. Okay, wow. This is a bit of a handful. So let's take a close look at this sentence, friends. Who saw more shooting stars than Lucas saw, but fewer than Mike saw? That is one heck of a sentence. I'm going to try to say it fast. Who saw more shooting stars than Lucas saw, but fewer than Mike saw? My tongue twister abilities are legend. Okay. So more than Lucas, less than Mike, that would be Jackson. Yeah, it was not the most elegant way that sentence could have been constructed, Kistrel. I agree. My head is also hurt, and it's not because of the vaccine. Yet. Each one of these cookie pictures is worth 6 cookies. Now, stop counting the chocolate chips, god damn it. Like, when we are doing these kinds of symbols, stop breaking it down into tiny details to trick people. Just stop, for God's sake. Each one of the cookie pictures represents 6 cookies. It's not about the chocolate chips. It's not about how the cookie is pointed. It's not about any of that. It's not how big the cookie is. Just knock it off. Sorry, I get annoyed by people who share picture memes that are all about like slight changes in the pictures to change the value in arbitrary ways. It's really infuriating. But that's another video also. What's this actually asking? Peanut butter sold blank more cookies than sugar. So we take off the first 2 because we're subtracting the first 2, and we have 1, 2.5 peanut butter. And if each one is 6, well, that would be 6, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's not that it hurts me, Kistrel, although it does. Memes like that, Kistrel says, show us where the meme hurts you, which A, absolutely hilarious, and B, it just makes my job harder, stuff like that. It's hard enough to try to get people to care about math without making them think that it is designed to trick them and make them feel foolish. Makes me sad. Anyway, which squirrels ate more than 10 acorns? More than 10 acorns. So each one of these is worth 3. I think it's probably easier to tell which ones are less than 10 acorns. It's just the one that had 9 here. Stripe. So I see 1, 2, 3. Everyone but Stripe got more than 10 acorns. Or Stripe, you suck. Moving on. If each cheese is 4 grams, which mice ate the same amount of cheese? Well, we don't actually need to know how much each one of these is worth to figure out which 2 of them are the same, right? The 2 that have the same number of pictures had the same amount of cheese regardless. And that is an important point, and I'm glad that they're making it here. So it is Missy Mouse and Beady that have the same amount, again, regardless of how much each cheese is worth. If each little cute baby fox is worth 4 foxes, in which nature center are there 4 more gray than Kit? So 4 more means 1 more little picture, right? So the gray picture should have 1 more fox than the kit picture. And I think we found it. Boom, already done. That's reading picture graphs. Let's go ahead and continue. We have read picture graphs, parentheses, multi-step problems. Let's see what that's all about. Okay, so we've got the graph picture below shows the flowers in Ori's garden over several months. Each one of these pictures is worth 3 flowers. How many fewer flowers did Ori have in her garden in March and July combined than in May? So the issue here is, again, one of wording, yeah? March and July combined than in May. That's why they call it multi-step problems, because there are multiple things that we have to do, and we have to keep in mind this entire sentence, from a grammatical perspective, kind of sucks. But from a mathematical perspective, it tells us exactly what we need to do. When we're talking about how many fewer, we are almost always talking about taking the larger and subtracting the smaller. When we say March and July combined, we're talking about taking March and July and adding them. So all we have to do now is do this in the right order. March and July combined, that would be how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the pictures. I will convert this later to actual flowers, okay? How many fewer did Ori have in her garden in March and July combined than in May? In May, it had more. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flower pictures in May. Did I get that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Okay. Just making sure I got that right. So the answer is 2. Once you parse the words out, the actual math is 7 minus 5. Not scary, right? The actual math involved is not scary. This is more of a reading comprehension problem and a fairly complex one as well. I imagine that your student will be seeing similarly constructed sentences in their social studies or whatever third graders take. I don't know. I'm a high school teacher. But anyway, that is 2 pictures, not 2 flowers. And that's another thing to remember. That's 2 pictures. Each picture is worth 3 flowers, so that's 6 flowers. Moving on. Each kind of recycling. Oh, so one of those little symbols is worth 3 kilograms. Okay, no problem. How many have been brought to the drive in all? Okay, so I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I see 20 symbols total, each of which is 3 kilograms. So that would be 60 kilograms in all. Multiplication. Moving on. Nancy put 80 acorns in her backyard. Then she made a graph of how many acorns different types of squirrels ate. Wow, she's got a lot of squirrels. Okay, so how many acorns were left after they ate? Okay, so hold on. If each one of these is worth 4, then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to skip the half for a second. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16 because the 2 halves make 1 whole. 16 times 4 is 64. If she started with 80, and then 64 of them got eaten, and yes, I realize I did that in my head very quickly. Pause the video, go back if you have to, make sure you're on the same page. You should have 16 acorns left. I am going to start doing the mental math more and more quickly, because I'm going to be assuming that folks who are watching my later videos have seen my earlier videos. That's kind of the way math works. It's the way it has to work. Karen picks apples at the Carter Apple Orchard this weekend. She made a graph to show how many apples she picked. Okay. Again, that's a very, very diverse orchard. I approve. I think that's pretty great. Karen ate 5 Fiji apples and dropped 4 Gala apples. After she did that, which 2 types has the same number of apples? Interesting. Okay, so hold on. She ate 5 Fiji and dropped 2 Gala, and each one of these is worth 2, right? So if she dropped 2 Gala, that means that 2 of them are gone. And if she ate 5 Fiji, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the ones that now have the same are Rome and Fiji. Sometimes visuals are necessary. I don't know that I would have been able to parse that whole thing without actually crossing out the apples. I think that's probably the best way to handle this. This could have been a very, very confusing problem. So yeah, definitely be careful with problems like this. It is Fiji and Rome that have the same after that. Oh no, what did I get wrong? Hold on. Oh, no, wait. I was going directly with the number of pictures instead, but I thought I still had it. I guess I didn't. Yep, I stand corrected. Gala and Granny Smith. These things happen. Wait, was that the last one? That was the last one. Okay, we'll try it in the quiz. Let's go ahead and do the quiz. That was weird. I'm gonna have to go back and look at the VOD on that one and see if I can figure out where my train of thought went wrong. Because I'm pretty sure I saw that they both ended up coming out to 2 apples, but I obviously made a mistake somewhere. So let's go ahead and move on to the quiz and see if I can make up that point. Purdy Pony created a chart and a picture graph to show how many of his pony friends live at each of the ranches in town. It's going to be 7. These are all multiples of 7. Moving on. Each one of those is 2 bones. How many more rib bones than skull and jaw combined? Well, skull and jaw combined is only 2. So 4 more rib bones. I spy books. Create a picture. Okay, so on page 1, there's 5. On page 2, there's 2, because 8 divided by 4 is 2 pictures. Page 3, 12 divided by 4 is 3. Page 4, 20 divided by 4 is 5 again. There we go. And then 16 divided by 4 is 4. Moving on. A grocer makes a graph of how many bananas are sold at different stores on Tuesday. How many total did he sell on Tuesday? Specifically, total. Well, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then 16 when I combine those 2 halves. 16 times 6 is 96, I think. Hold on. 10 times 6 is 60, and 36 is 96. Yes, and yes. Perry Pig. Wow, we've seen a lot of Perry Pig today. Has asked his friends to vote for their favorite movie. Again, oh, this is the same thing. Except it's not the same thing, because I think it was not 5 pigs last time. Anyway, picture graph. No problem. Charlotte. It's 5, 10, 15, 20 pigs. I find with 5s and 10s, it's easy enough to just count by 5s and 10s that I don't have to do, the multiplication. That was 20, 25, 30, 35 on Babe. And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 on the Muppet Movie. Quiz 1 in the bag. And that did bring the multi-step problem that I got wrong up to level, so we are good to go. We are moving on to bar graphs.